Deciding on which mouse to get is quite a hard choice, and for most users, this mouse will accompany them for a long time, at least until you have some extra spare cash or unfortunately broken. And there are a lot of choice in the market when you are choosing a mouse for yourself. But when it comes to buying a mouse, Logitech is definitely on most people's mind when talking about mice. And that's exactly what we're going to compare today, from this low tier Logitech mouse to the highest end Logitech MX Master series. Let's look at the mouse that we are going to compare today. From the left, we have the M310 mouse that I recently reviewed as my daily office laptop mouse. And to its right is my original Marathon mouse that I bought for more than 7 years ago. Next to it is its successor, the Triathlon. And finally, the MX Master 2S, which is my daily mouse whenever I'm at home. All these mouses are priced quite differently and aimed at a different user. But in this video, I will try to give their pros and cons to find out is it worth to spend a little bit much to get the better version. Let's go. As you can see, all 4 of these mice are in different sizes. And that will be one of the main deciding factors on which mouse to get. If you have a smaller hand, the larger MX Master 2S will probably feel unwieldy, and smaller mouse may feel too light while using it. So, in order to solve this, you really have to feel the mouse in your hand in order to make the best decision. But since this comparison is in video form, I will try my best to differentiate the feel while handling the mouse through words. As it can clearly seen by this form factor, the M3110 is the smallest among all of them, and it's also the cheapest mouse in the bunch. The lightness of this mouse is best suited for traveling and can be simply tossed into your bag without any second thought. And that is what I've been doing for the past few years while using this as my office laptop mouse. The handling of this mouse doesn't feel too good, and it is too flat to the touch, and you really have to get used to it. But it is to be expected for a $10 mouse. So if you need a quick and cheap mouse for travel needs, this may be best suited for you. But if you are planning to use this mouse for a longer period of time, then I would really suggest the Marathon or the Triathlon. And due to the higher profile of the mouse, your palm could really rest on top of it while you focus on your work. But the price jump from the M310 to the Marathon is quite steep, but I really think in the long term, your palm and your hand will thank you. And that translates well to our introduction of both Marathon and the Triathlon. Both of these mice have the same DNA as you can see from the name, Marathon to Triathlon. The Triathlon is a direct successor of the Marathon, and it clearly shows in their design. Both of these mice is known to have their excellent battery life, and you won't go wrong with either of them. Granted, the Marathon mouse is the older version of 2, but a mouse is a mouse. It still serves the essential purpose of using a mouse without some fancy feature introduced in the Triathlon. The size of the Marathon for me is happy medium. My palm rests comfortably on top of it, and the weight really makes me feel I'm holding a quality mouse. And I would say the same for the Triathlon. But with the additional cash you spend on either of it, you will get a few additional buttons for your money worth. The primary function you get for these mice is the forward and back button. This button really do save me tons of time. And with these 2 buttons always within your reach, surfing the web will never be the same. Both of them also introduce a thumb button that is customizable through Logitech software. If you want a more straightforward mouse, Marathon will be a better choice. But if you want a fancier and a matte texture mouse, the Triathlon will be a better choice with new flow technology and the improved hardware in terms of DPS. And lastly, the Logitech MX Master series. I have this Logitech MX Master 2S here. Even though this is not the latest and greatest, the MX Master 3, it closely resembles 90% of it. The improvement jumping from the Marathon or Triathlon to the MX Master is much less noticeable, as most of the pros of the MX Master series can somewhat get in the Marathon or the Triathlon. Pros such as higher mouse profile, forward and back button, thumb button, and the infinity scroll wheel and more. At this point, getting an MX Master series is more so on the design and feature, instead of the comfort. Sure, the MX Master is much more comfortable while using than the Triathlon. One advantage of getting an MX Master series is the dark field sensor, which enables the mouse to track on glass, which may be quite useful for certain individuals that have glass table. But in that case, I guess most, if not all, you're already using a trackpad, right? Other than that, one advantage of the MX Master compared to the other is the built-in battery. With this, you are free from swapping AA battery when you run out of juice. Granted, it will not last as long as the Marathon or the Triathlon, but a few minutes of quick charge will get you up and going. And that's it. All 4 Logitech mouse have been with me for some time, and I don't find them break out on me. Granted, I took care of my mouse quite nicely and didn't even drop them once. And that might be the reason why my 8-year-old marathon is still going strong. So, which mouse will you go for? Leave a comment down below, and thanks for watching. Ciao!